again, very, very simple. We're going to be using whatever colors you want, although the theme is going to be sunflowers. However, feel free to make them any flowers you choose if you'd like to do so, any colors. And what I'll do is I'll go over how to create the sunflowers first, and then we'll get into all this lovely texture in the background here. You'll see off to the side, I started on creating another version of this same project here. I tried to be a little bit more creative, I guess, with the colors, but just me, I always end up going to the same colors again and again. So I'm just going to stick with it. But anyway, so your color scheme can be anything that you choose. And in all honesty, you don't even have to use more than one color. You want to just use one color, you're more than welcome to do that too. So yeah, let's get started. So paper and markers. Like always, if you have color pencils instead, or if you have simple just pen, that's all you have, that's absolutely okay. Whatever you have is good. The project that we have today, it's really very simple. However, whenever you're trying to transition and maybe transition colors perhaps, or maybe try to change the shape of whatever section you're working on, like this one, you might have to think about it just a little bit more, but I promise you won't have to think too hard about it. So the rest of it is supposed to be very rhythmic. So think about rhythmic textures. You can go quickly with it, or you can go slowly with it and take your time with it. It really just depends on you. Once again, this is another one of those projects where it might take us 15 minutes or it might take us the whole time. So we'll just have to see how it goes, you know. So let's get started. I'm going to get a brand new paper. Let's do this. We're going to be starting off with our flowers. Make sure that's actually a clean paper. Okay. It's clean on one side. So I'm going to be starting off with the middle color and with the petal color. So my middle color, because they're sunflowers, they're going to be brown. So let me go ahead and grab my brown. And I'm going to start off by drawing a circle for the center here. I'm not going to worry about this texture just yet. Just going to draw plain old circles. If you think about sunflowers, sometimes sunflowers have smaller midsections. And again, I don't grow plants, unfortunately. I don't know the names of the parts of the flowers, so I'm just going to call it the middle. Some middles are very small with longer petals. Other middles are very large with much shorter petals. So it's kind of a give and a take, I guess. So it just depends on what you wish for in your flower. So I like to have a variety, so I'm going to do a little bit of both. I'm going to start with my brown, and we're going to make our circles. I'm going to aim for 3 flowers, but we can always add more a little bit later. Now with this big circle, I'm going to draw later on when I get the yellow, I'm going to draw shorter petals. With this one, I have a small circle, and I will be drawing the longer petals for that later. And then I'll just draw another larger one. So got that. And I'm going to go ahead and look for my yellow. And that's going to be for my petals. In this picture, let me just show you real quick. In this one, I ended up really quickly outlining with, partially outlining with some orange just at the tips of the petals, and maybe just a few little hash marks in the middle of the petals. That was just because I felt like it needed a little something extra extra. So it's just a small detail that you can think about. Maybe put it in now, maybe later, or not at all. It's optional. So again, here's petals. I always like to overlap my petals. So I got some shorter little petals here. And I can jump over. This is how I like to draw petals a lot of the time. I like to jump from opposite end. And that helps me to keep the symmetry in my flowers, because I'm able to look from one side to the next, like so. I like to overlap my petals. That's just a little aesthetic that I like to do, but you definitely don't need to if you don't want to. Take your time with the petals. I tend to forget that I've drawn a million petals in my lifetime, and I might go a little bit fast. So just tell me if I'm going a little fast. But I always like to overlap because it just makes things a whole lot easier too. At least that's what I think. One side to the next, always looking at the opposite end after I do one petal. That way I can make sure that it looks, for the most part, pretty symmetrical, for the most part. It's never going to completely look symmetrical. Are there any questions so far? All right. You guys are awesome. Okay. Now, those are the shorter petals paired with the larger middle. Now I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to do longer petals paired with the smaller middle. Just to show you guys what that looks like. See that? Always starting from the middle here, reaching out, really stretching it pretty far out there. Gonna jump to the opposite side, do the same thing. Now you can see that one petal is bigger than the other, but that's okay. I wasn't really paying attention to it that much, and that's okay. I'm gonna go to the one next to it, overlap it a little bit, just like before. Now, if I wanted to, now do you see this huge gap in between? Later on, after I continue to create all of my petals, or after I finish completing all my petals, I can add another petal in between there just to make things look a little bit more even if I want to. Like there, it's like a great spot for another petal. See, like that, just squeeze that right in there. Petal making becomes a whole lot easier after you've done like 5 or 6 of them. So there's the difference between the two. But again, it's nice to have a little variety of both, perhaps. Any questions so far? Cool.
It's difficult to see the yellow for me. So am I able to now outline using the orange so I could see them more clearly?
Yeah, let me show you what that looks like. In the original picture, I really only did that on the tips of the petals here. And of course, those hash marks in the middle. But if it helps you to outline the entire thing, then that's okay. Now I can do this at any time, actually. Here's what it looks like if you just do the outside.
Okay.
Like that.
I like that.
It looks really nice on this one. I wasn't expecting that. I like that. And then just to tie it to the middle, make it a little symmetrical, I'm just gonna put these tiny little hash marks right there. I'm actually gonna put my camera a little closer so you guys can see that. There we go. Now you guys can see those little marks right there. Now, I just thought of this right now. I want to see what it looks like if I actually do that half outline, but in the middle, starting in the middle like that. Just because I was curious about what happens if it's the opposite. I like that too. I like that a lot too. Although if you're having trouble seeing the yellow, then doing it this way might be the better route for you. So let me go ahead and start on that third flower.
What kind of markers are you using?
These are just the Crayola markers. Let me show you. These guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nice little 20 pack right there. It's probably like $5 or something. And even then, even like knowing the price, I'm still kind of like, I don't know, I can hold off a little bit longer. I can wait to buy some extra ones. Now, another project that I want to do for a later time, perhaps in June, these washable ones. They always, the ones that say washable, usually those are really good for using as if they were the watercolor markers, the fancy watercolor markers that you get, the artist quality ones. Well, you can use the Crayolas for that as well. So you just have to add a little bit of water with a paintbrush or a Q-tip. Oh, that's right. We've done that already. Duh. We can do it again. See, this is what happens when I'm really tired. I forget everything.
You are not alone.
Right. Yeah, I'm with my peeps. I'm with my people who understand. The memory loss is really, really pretty crazy. Like it's one of my worst symptoms, to be completely honest. Yeah, it's bad. Has anyone done anything creative this week?
No.
I've been writing my book.
Ooh, that's exciting. How far along are you?
41,000 words.
That's it's impressive for me.
I've been doing it for over 15 years.
Okay.
Not so impressive.
Well, what's your book about?
It's called 5 by 25 because I had 5 last names by the time I was 25 years old, and how I got all of them and why.
25. I gotcha. So is it a memoir then?
Yeah.
Oh, how cool.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. I love that you're doing that.
Started off as therapy, and then everybody asked to read it.
Mm. So that's when you decided to turn it into a book then?
Still deciding on that, to be honest.
Ah. Well, I would read it if you published it.
Thank you.
It's really exciting. That really is exciting, especially since you're already an artist as well. So you'll have a book under your name too.
It's really not as exciting as it sounds.
But it's therapeutic though.
Yeah.
It's important. I'm really glad you're doing that.
It's more like the starving artist thing of Van Gogh. You know how he never sold a painting in his life? I've sold them, but they've been for like $20, $40, $60. It's not enough to really, it's really the starving artist kind of thing. You have to have something else to support it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's been true for hundreds of years. Starving artists.
They sure don't teach that part in schools.
I would know. I got my bachelor's in it. So they taught us I think I had one art for business class in my very last year for one semester. That was it. Nothing else after that. They're like, okay, here's the information. Bye-bye.
They don't tell you you need to be your own marketer or anything like that.
Yep. So I'd like to show you guys how to do that texture in the background. And then we'll come back to the starving artist conversation because I love that. So I'm not going to go through and count every single little line here, but for the most part, it's 4 lines each way. So 4 vertical, 4 horizontal, and the pattern keeps continuing line by line. So think of these as rows. So I started with this row at the very top, right up here, jumped over my flower, continued over onto the opposite side and completed that row. Now it's sort of difficult. Well, I guess not difficult. It's like, how do I end, or where do I end, or where do I begin my little marks, my little hash marks here? Well, the answer is I don't really know. You can always add more. You can't really take them away. So just kind of think about that. Down here, when I finally was able to get to this color, I was able to I knew that I wanted to start this row much further out. So I just did it. I just started way out here and completed my next row in my second color. So let me demonstrate. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. However, you can go about it a little bit more on the organized side or a little bit more on the disorganized side. Here's what disorganization looks like. This one. So I actually happen to like this one a lot more so far, but I didn't have any path, any understanding of where these colors were going to go, where these lines were going to go, what shape they were going to take. I just kept adding. So I would add, I think I started in the middle here. So I started to add this row, and so on and so forth. And then I was like, I think I need to move over into this side. So I squeezed a few down in here. And then just naturally, as I was thinking, as I was just continuing to make the patterns, I might accidentally add maybe 6 vertical lines here. And then the next one, I'd have to match it, of course. So I'd do 6, like 5 or 6 in the next one, and so on and so forth. So eventually, as you get used to creating all of these hash marks, they'll just come to you. You won't even have to think about that. About them. You would have created so many that you wouldn't have to think about where it goes. It becomes more organic. So that's the slightly more disorganized part. If you want to go a little bit more organized, here is where I attempted to make it, and I'm just not finished with it. That's all. What I did was I made sure that I was creating all of these little textures in a row down here. And I don't remember if I knew that I wanted it to curve down. I don't remember that part, but it's pretty easy to make it turn into that. And then all I really did was create one row at a time and tried to be as organized and neat as I could. These took a little bit longer. I did take my time with all of these. Not so much with this one though. This one happened a lot more quickly. So let me go ahead and demonstrate now. So what color should I do? I always pick the same colors. I need to do something a little different. I'll just do blue, because why not? Okay, so let's say maybe I wanted to be a little more organized. Let's try that. I can start somewhere out here, and with your finger, if you wanted to do it this way, you can sort of trace out the general direction you want your sections to go. So I want my sections to go this way, maybe curve down just a little bit. Trace it with your finger. So you can start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right next to it, oops, here I am flinging my markers everywhere. It happens a lot. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, horizontal. 1, 2, 3, 4, vertical. Horizontal. Horizontal or vertical. Horizontal. Now I find myself just instinctually, just naturally going in a row. Everything looks straight. So I did say before, I would like for it to curve a little bit downward. So my next one, these lines are curving downward just a little bit. These next lines, they're also going to start to have a little tilt to them. These are going to curve downwards a little bit. So it's all about the slight change in tilt. Just kind of squeeze those in there. Then I'm going to follow my finger to the next logical section, right about there. I've got a petal that's a little bit intrusive, but that's okay. It makes sense to put these horizontal lines right next to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. It just becomes a counting game after a while. Eventually, you're probably going to get tired of counting, or maybe you're not tired of it. Maybe it'll be more like your hand is moving too fast for your counting. I don't know. In which case you may see 5 lines, maybe 6 lines. And that's okay. I would say go with it. Go with the flow. I've completed this line, this row, I should say, completed this row. I can jump off to the other side now. And I've got to do the opposite. I've got some vertical lines that I put beforehand, but let's do the opposite. Put some horizontal lines there. I'm going to do my best to keep in line. You'll notice that I just put 5 lines right there, but I did that because it matches with this section up here. It falls in line with this section right above it. Same thing with that one. Same thing with that one. If it makes more sense to put, I don't know, see that like this one, 3 lines, because this section is a little bit shorter, then do that. Nobody's going to count each and every line that you put in there. So do what you need to do. All right, here's a little thing that I had to do. I wasn't really paying attention to how many vertical lines I needed to put. So there's like 7 right there before I'm actually able to meet these horizontal lines. Do I have any questions? Or do you have any questions? Your hash marks can be bigger than mine or smaller than mine. It really just depends on you and how you hold your marker.
And I find that it's easier and more uniform if I do all my horizontal and then go back and fill in with my vertical after the whole line's finished.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, I like that. I can see that. My next row, I'm gonna try that out. Let's see. Okay. You know what? How about my next color? I'm gonna try that out. I'll just do turquoise. Okay, so you did all the horizontal ones first. So, oh, I like this. I feel like you can create more of a flow this way.
Absolutely.
I love that. Thank you for showing us that.
No problem.
Yeah, see, I can squeeze all of the vertical ones in there in between. Now, I tend to go really quickly, so I'll have to figure something out with all these vertical lines that are sticking up. But it works nicely. Now, here's what you can do if you're a bit more on the chaotic side and a little bit less organized. Say perhaps maybe you're not moving in rows. Maybe you're moving more in patches instead. So here's a big old purple patch here, smaller pink patch, smaller pink patch. Let me demonstrate that one using pink, because why not? So with this one right here, I started off in the middle. So again, like that, except instead of staying or sticking with rows, I stuck to patches. So I would jump from here, from section to section, like that. naturally, as I'm going along, some of my lines might be a little bit longer. They may be a little bit more skewed because I'm not going in rows. Now, to do it more fluid like that, that might work out really well for these areas in which you don't want to have these flowy sections. And this one right here, you can see I have a little, I wouldn't call it a dilemma. I would just say you have to squeeze in a few lines that may be a little shorter, maybe a little longer in order to match or something fit in with this area here. I'm not, once again, I'm not going in rows. I'm just adding them wherever they're needed in the moment. I think for mine, I think I'll probably expand this turquoise area, make it go up a bit more, and then figure out what to do from there. Does anyone need any suggestions, any help?
I will here in a minute.
Sure. Absolutely.
I have a question.
Sure.
Are we going to be coloring inside the petals of the sunflower?
Let's see. If you want to, we can. The original picture doesn't have anything colored inside, but
Okay.
if you want, I can show you what
Okay.
it looks like.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Has anyone else done anything creative this week? Anything fun? Nothing, Merle? I'm surprised.
Lazy.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Totally okay. I've been keeping an ear out for new music to add to my artistic playlist, because I always have a certain playlist that I listen to when I'm doing artwork. And I've been trying to expand my musical horizons. So if there's any artists you can think of that work for you, then I'm all ears.
Very Chapin. Blue Oyster Cult.
Mr. Colt, I gotta write that down.
Lindsay Sterling's pretty good.
Oh yeah, Lindsay Sterling. I like Lindsay Sterling.
Dan Fogelberg.
James.
My tastes are probably too old for you.
I'm up for anything. If it's
Yeah, I forget
artistic
you're
for
old as
you.
dirt, Mom.
Yep.
Okay. Here I am looking for a pencil and pen, but forget I have my laptop and I can pull up the Word document. Oops.
Adele.
Oh, Adele. I've been meaning to listen to her newest album.
Oh my
I
gosh.
feel like
Tell you
Very
what, they
good.
my residents made me learn the song a million years ago and sing it for them. I sang it for them, and listening to the words while I sang it brought me to tears. And by the time I finished singing it, there wasn't a dry eye in the whole place. It was so moving.
My goodness.
To think about these 80-some-year-old ladies and the things they've done in their lifetime, and looking back on their entire lives and thinking, gosh, I'm not even halfway there and I feel this way.
And wait, so that was listening to Adele? Did I hear that
A
right?
song called "A Million Years Ago" by Adele.
Okay, I'm writing that down for sure. A million years ago. How amazing is that?
It was one of the most humbling experiences of my life.
A million years ago. Okay, added to the list.
Longer by Dan Fogelberg. That's my husband's song.
Oh, okay. And his name sounds familiar, that's for sure. Dan Fogelberg. Cool. Okay. Got it.
Starry Night. That's
Now,
just
forgive
one.
me if I'm wrong. I thought that was a painting.
It is, but it is also the title of a song.
Don
Is it?
McLean.
Yep. Actually, isn't it called Vincent? I can't remember if it's called Vincent or if it's called Starry Night. But yeah, it's awesome.
Really? So by Don McLean? Or was that?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't believe I hadn't heard that before.
It's wonderful too. My gift to
Oh.
you, one artist to another.
Yeah. Love Vincent van Gogh.
My favorite.
I was in Philadelphia last week and I got to see a couple of Vincent van Gogh paintings up close.
They had this conceptual art exhibition like recently in Oklahoma City where it was blown up three-dimensionally on the walls. I wanted to go so bad. I just couldn't.
Oh yeah, is it the
Where you
I
got to
think
walk in his paintings, basically. Ugh,
yeah. Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to go to that.
I
I think
wanted.
I think San Antonio is going to have something like that soon. I love that. Yeah, I keep telling myself I need to go see it, but
I put it on my Facebook for my friends and family to all see, hoping that with my birthday coming up, they would have gotten it for me. But
I'm
oh
sorry. I
no.
didn't know. You got to be more blunt.
It's really good, but there's two ways of visualizing it. In New York City, they use the 3D things over your head to
Oh,
go through
VR
Oh,
it.
headsets?
But not when we had it in Buffalo, it wasn't like that. You just walked through it, which was just as good. But
so they're not quite the VR headset. Is it similar?
I'm not sure.
Huh.
I had a friend that saw it both ways, and they said it was equally as good.
Okay. There we go. I sort of I guess messed up a little bit on this area. I got a little I guess I was going a little too quickly, and I didn't really match up the correct lines that were supposed to go in the above row. So they don't quite match up. But and honestly, like the only thing I could think to do to fix the mistake, I guess, was to kind of squeeze a few little vertical lines in between and just put some random little horizontal lines here and there. I like the way it looks, and I kind of want to continue it. I'll just have this, maybe this spot and maybe into here be my little I don't want to call it a mess up spot. There's got to be a better word for that. My little happy accident spot. That's what it is. It's my happy accident.
Of you.
I love Bob Ross. I want to make it my mission to remember a good portion of his quotes.
As you go further back, things get closer together, right?
What do you mean, like?
Like your lines, if you're looking at something, the lines would get closer together. So you're looking at a deck on a porch or something. Toward the end of the porch, it would get closer together, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Perspective wise, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that is correct. Page. Trying to like squeeze a few lines back there.
Who finished their page?
I did.
I think that was Haley.
Where are you? I am looking for you. I can't find you, Haley. Oh, there you are.
Technically under a second Carolyn.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I think I was looking for the words and I should have just looked up. Anyway, there we go. My gosh, I love that. Look at the swirling right there in the middle there.
I love it.
I know, I love that too. Just the fact that you were able to swirl all of your lines together in a very organized Van Gogh-ish manner. My gosh, I love that.
Okay, I didn't go that route. I went a totally different route, but I'm finished too, I think.
Lovely. Thank you for sharing, Haley. Oh, there you are, Carolyn. Let me spot you. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that.
My kid had my markers.
Oh, so
your markers.
Use your pencil.
I used last time.
Gorgeous. I love it, Carolyn. It is very Van Gogh-esque. It is. What with the Japanese influence in the background. Very cool. Once again, I think you all are much further than me. Oh, here we go. I see Sharon. I'm going to add you. Oh, those colors. Oh, those colors. I love that, Sharon. Who do we have sitting with you? I don't believe we've met. If you have to type, that's okay.
I'm her daughter.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
joining today, Skylar.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Skylar.
Picture.
Oh, okay. That's your pictures.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh no, it looks good though. I'm loving the pink and the black.
I'm so glad somebody else brought their kid.
Bring your kid to art class day.
It's a good day.
You're always welcome.
Well, it's one
Thank-
thing we can do with our kids when we can't do other things anymore.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Very true.
that's true. Thanks for sharing, you guys. Once again, I'm very behind you guys.
You're having to teach the class too, though. That's different.
This one, I thought for sure I'm going to finish it because I don't normally finish it.
Since there's
And I
another
thought-
kid here, would it be okay if I asked a personal question?
Sure, go ahead.
How do you kind of cope with your parent figure being sick?
Good question.
Oh, sorry, were you talking to me?
Yeah, I haven't got another kid's perspective before.
Yeah, I'd like to know that.
I guess finding things that we like to do together, like watching movies, playing with the dogs. What else?
She's more caring than my son is. My son is. Why can't you do that, Mom?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
But I mean,
That's hard.
she's kind of protective in a sense, I think.
Haley's always been that way too.
Yeah, I'm a bit protective of her to a fault.
Yeah.
I don't
Really
think
great
I'd ever
question.
call it a fault.
There's a fine line between protective and defensive.
Right.
Brandy says, so Brandy typed this in the chat. My mom also had MS. I grew up with her in a wheelchair my whole life. I wish I could have done anything like this art class with her.
Amen.
That's beautiful. Brandy
Um,
says she's on a laptop with a broken mic. There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brandy.
Yeah.
You know, if there are suggestions that folks have for other things that we could facilitate families doing together, you know, let me know and we'll see what MS Focus can do.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
just kind of
Likewise, if there's
hard
anything
to
I
find
can help
those little activities to do together that's not gonna overexert the other person.
Right.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
Well, likewise, if there's anything I can help with, let me know and I'll be happy to help with it.
Well, thank you. That's much appreciated.
Mama was actually the one who taught me how to crochet.
Oh,
That's awesome. See, I don't know how to crochet.
Okay, dudes,
There's
I
some
taught
I
her how
do.
to crochet, but she taught herself how to knit and just blew me out of the water.
Oh man. Maybe that's an idea for another class. Maybe.
that'd be a great class.
Crocheting's a lot easier to pick up than knitting.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't do the knitting with my hands.
Okay.
Mm.
I actually, years ago, I used to do a program where I was knitting for the homeless, because here in South Florida, when it gets cold, there's no like coat donation programs or anything because none of us
Oh,
actually own coats.
yeah.
Like that's just not a thing here. And so basically the entire staff of MS Focus decided to jump in and help out. And I ended up with like probably 13 or 14 people learning how to knit or crochet to do that. But one of the things that we did for people who had difficulty with their hands was the loom knitting. Which
Oh, that makes sense.
yeah, the loom knitting is there's a smaller learning curve and it's usually much easier on the hands.
I did for my seniors because I was an activity director for 15 years for senior citizens. So every year we would do things like making bookmarkers for literary month, and we would do crocheting pot holders for around Thanksgiving to donate to the homeless shelters so they could do it for the soup kitchens, and then crocheting scarves for winter for the homeless.
That's really nice.
It's fun.
It's been great for them to feel useful.
It's stuff that the seniors can do, and they've been doing it so long, it's muscle memory more than anything. So even memory care residents were able to contribute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like it colored in. Oh, that's right.
Is there anyone else who'd like to share their pictures? Oh, Susie, see, raise your hand, Susie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Ooh, I like that alternation of colors.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, that is good.
I
That's,
like how she even did it in the center of the sunflowers.
yeah, I love that. Which reminds me, I need to go over how to do the center for mine.
Yeah.
Susie,
I like
that was
the
a-
one to the left
Thank you.
specifically. It kind of looks like a woven basket.
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
You did great with that. So I guess real quick, I'll show you guys how to do that, and then we'll continue seeing everybody else's. Let me show you this one. It's very easy to put in there. Basically, I started off with hatch marks on the outside, and then continued to make circular rows one at a time till I reached the middle. So I was able to do it pretty quickly. I had to move my paper around. So like that, just to make it a little easier. So you can just
The
kind of,
yellows are hard. Yeah.
I went with the chaotic approach in the center of my sunflowers and just scribbled everywhere.
scribbled, yeah.
It
That
was
works too.
it was hashtagging or hash marks, but it was
Mhm.
close and alternating it on top of each other, so it was more like the center of a sunflower.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll have to show that to us in
I
a
can show
second.
you something else. This one's
Yeah. Let me see 1 second, Carolyn. Okay.
okay.
Okay, there you are.
That's my broom. I made that with the kids like 20 years ago.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's lovely.
Okay, so that's song lyrics of 2 songs that my husband and I love, and then just the Eiffel Tower on top of it in a very what's it called, stencilized kind of way. And the background is tea soaked, so it looks old. And then we literally burnt the edges of it because it was a poster for work.
Nice.
That we just reused, and then you put hot glued a ribbon on it, and it's been hanging in our house for years.
Nice.
So that's an idea, something that you could do that's easy.
Cute. I like that.
One way that I found for burning through paper kind of safely is if you get, we have incense sticks just laying around everywhere. I've taken an incense stick and burned little holes in paper to make just a rugged old looking map.
There's Amy. Oh, okay. Okay, I like that. That's a pretty safe way to do it.
It's a little bit better than just having an open flame.
Yeah,
I was
used
thinking
a
that
candle.
too.
I used a candle. It was not safe. Don't do that at home. Or you could do something like this.
I do
My,
like the incense method.
I made this with my residents. We used aluminum foil and sculpted.
Oh, hey, I've done something like that.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
When I can't hardly walk or get up or anything, my husband will help me up. So this is him
Oh.
helping me up off of the ground after I did an art project with the kids.
Oh,
Oh.
that's sweet. I love that.
Oh.
And unfortunately, it makes him sad to look at it. But for me, it just brings me joy because he's been such a part of making sure I've been able to be active with the kids no matter what.
Yeah, I was gonna say he sounds like a very loving person
He's
towards you.
amazing. He's amazing.
Oh. Yay, thanks for sharing those projects. Anybody else? Anybody else want to share their sunflowers with the class?
I'm not done yet, but here's what I have so far.
Oh, oh man, you have a big piece of paper too. Look at that.
Like that.
And with the center, are you doing hash marks as well, or are you going for more this brown part? I couldn't see it very well.
I'm doing hash marks.
Ah, okay. There we go. Yeah. I like it. And I love that you have a bigger piece of paper too.
I like it.
Cool. Thank you for sharing, Tony. Who else?
I'll show mine.
I didn't finish yet.
Yeah. Okay. Let me do Veronica first, and then Merle, I'll get to you.
Yeah.
There we go, Veronica. Oh, there we go. I like that it all comes to a one section, like it all kind of melts
Yeah,
together.
I
at
didn't
one
like the
side.
way my lines looked, so I kind of darkened it in.
Ah, you darkened it.
Yeah.
I like how you colored in the centers, like
Yeah.
the flowers. I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that makes it pop more. I think the yellow.
Mhm.
I still got a ways to go on that side. This side.
Oh, I
Can you
see.
Got to move that side.
I have
Yeah.
to say though, my favorite part about yours is the sunflowers and the way just the way you put the orange color in there.
Yeah, I kind of do the
Love
orange at
that.
the end. Yeah, around the
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
There's something about the texture and the way you put it in there that looks really nice. Cool. Merle's next. Put you up in the spotlight. There you go.
This is kind of fun. I'm gonna try that.
You ready to share, Merle? Or do you want to wait a second? Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's pretty.
Like that. I like that. You know, it looks very mountainous. It looks like you're creating the mountains with hash marks.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We miss, so all the shades they are crazy. So.
That is awesome.
My ladybug became a tick, So.
That's awesome. I love it though.
Thank you.
Brandy says, sorry, I have COVID and in bed. Oh
I'm
my
sorry
goodness.
you have COVID.
Hope you
Yeah.
feel better, Brandy. Hope you
Yeah.
feel better.
I hope it goes away quickly.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
How long have you
Yeah.
had it, Brandy?
Yeah, and that's totally fine if you don't want to share.
Oh,
Definitely
absolutely.
do not
Yeah.
Definitely do not recommend.
10 days.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
That is a long time.
I could
Holy
share.
mollies.
I really hope
Well,
you get
Brandy.
back soon.
Mm. So I heard somebody say they could share. Who was that? Oh, yes, Anna. Let me add you. There we go. Your colors are gorgeous. Look at that.
They're bright.
Pretty.
Yeah. And those thicker lines, that's beautiful.
Thanks.
I'm really happy you decided to color in those petals.
Yeah, I've been actually doing a lot of sunflowers lately, and
Mm,
I just feel the need to color them.
nice. I say go. I say if you have a need to do something, go for it. I'm glad you did that. Very cool. Thank you, Anna. And I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
is it Anna or Anna?
Anna Marie.
Anna Marie. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Anna Marie. Who else would like to share?
I kind of got a little carried away with my hash marks. They're sort of a flag or something.
Ooh,
Oh, I love
Wow.
that.
Oh, that's pretty.
man,
Nice.
I really do. It's
Almost
so
looks like the
organized.
Ukraine flag almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It does.
love that. I love those colors.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pattern. They just
I do
really
too.
pop.
Yeah, they really pop.
Yeah.
Super cool. Thank you, Casey. Hooray. You guys did a fantastic job. Is there anybody else who I haven't called on yet who would like to share?
Oh, I will.
Yeah, Marianne, let me add you. There we go. What in the world? I love that.
Nice.
Getting with those patterns, I'm digging that.
I know. The columns. I love the way you did that.
Hey, I'm feeling like a loser. I'll go in black and white now, guys.
No.
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 I am totally digging all this color.
Yeah, you guys did amazingly. Once again, I'm truly blown out of the water by what you guys have done. Like, you guys never cease to amaze me just with the creativity that I see coming out of here. Thank you again for showing up to class and joining us for class today. It truly means the world to me. I absolutely love teaching you guys. And I'm always happy to see you and meet anybody new. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. And once again, let me, as my little closing thing, let me show you what we're doing next week. Let's see.
Let me tell everybody that I forgot to make the link.
You've been busy.
In Friday's newsletter, or if you don't get the newsletter, you can just email me, casey@msfocus.org, or reply to your registration email for this one, and I'll make sure you get next week's link.
So I have a picture of what we're doing, and if I remember correctly, it's just something with pen.
Ooh.
If I remember correctly.
Cool.
Okay. Well, I don't have a picture.
That's what this one was going to be. That's why I didn't worry about finding the color.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, sorry
Maybe
if there
I
was
was
confusion.
reading the one for next week.
Maybe. I actually have it right up here. It's not in my computer, so it's actually in my sketchbook. So, ta-da! First look.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool. Oh,
Clouds or something.
There we go. So I'll teach you guys how to create clouds in a little bit more of a flowy, more stylized kind of way. When I came up with this project, I was thinking of West Texas in particular. And I don't know if you guys have seen pictures of the desert and the sky. It's just such a vast expanse of sky. And so many times when you go see it, there are huge columns of clouds out there. And it's just a gorgeous sight with the mountains underneath it. So I thought, let's go ahead and do a drawing of that. Let's do something. So for yours, it doesn't have to be a mountain, or I'm sorry, it doesn't have to be a desert landscape. I'll figure out a way to change it up a little bit if you guys would like to do that. But for me, in my mind, it's a desert down there. So hence the little dots and not foliage down there. So I hope you guys enjoy. And I guess I'm suppressing a yawn right now. That's why I sound a little funny. I'm really trying so hard. Talking. Okay. It's all good.
Let it out.
I know I should.
Let it out.
I feel like if I let it out, it's all gonna come out, and I'm just gonna collapse and go to sleep on the floor right here.
I'm so suggestible. I'm trying not to yawn from you talking about yawning.
Yeah, there you go.
Again, trying.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will see you guys next week. You guys enjoy the rest of your week.